Welcome back, everybody. It's Creative Redundancy, the one known as CR. Hopefully, everyone's doing well, and good morning to everyone. Well, I guess in North America at least. Hopefully, everyone's doing well for what it is. So I'm back with this here another live stream here because I got the time, and why not? I get to see the sun today, once again. And the sunrise too at that. So hopefully everyone's doing well, like I said. I'm gonna just type in the chat here. Alright, so yeah. What's up with me? Yes, I know I just did a previous live stream, but need some WT, and besides, I got some time for it today, once again. As I do a few things around here. But the first thing I'm gonna do first is grab my coffee that I already made. Get my day started here. As I tried to plan something in advance here. And get some things done too. As much as I can. Just because it may help matter and do something later on, you know. So while I'm waiting for some people to drop in here, because I didn't give that much notification for this stream, like, literally I didn't. I know I didn't. Actually, I was gonna schedule it for the top of the hour, but I'm like, screw it. I'll just do it now. Just get it out of the way. So, that is why there's there's like barely minutes of notification, but still notification, though. Still some notification. So check up on a few things here that I've been doing. There's something I've been working on for the last couple days anyway. Just something I've been seeing the potential of. Instead of seeing it as what it originally was, I'm converting it into something else. Why not? And reuse it, repurpose it. Because that's what I do here on this channel. I think it's been very clear what I've been doing on the channel the last few years, on the latter half of the time I've had on this channel. I've been able to discover some hidden potentials for some of the resources out there that we got. I'm trying to think of an example here that I've actually already shown, but haven't shown yet. But let's just say, I don't know. It's like one of those things I've gotten a knack for lately, being able to just see these little things and just like, and the potential of certain resources out there. And sometimes, for me, specifically this one example that I've been working on the last few days anyways, on and off. It's got, let's just say it's got, I wouldn't necessarily, for lack of a better word, it's fireproof. Apparently. Like, if I showed you the item, you'd be like, that makes that's no surprise there, CR. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't even realize until I started to change things around. So, Devil Dog, I see you again. Dang, you're up early. It's only been 8.5 hours, Devil Dog. Okay, 9 hours. I guess you got some sleep, right? I'm assuming you got some sleep. I'm assuming you got some sleep. I'm assuming, anyways. Like, literally, I just saw you, like, last night on Triple H's channel. I just, yeah. So, yeah. I've just been working on this one thing and testing it out. Well, trying it out. I shouldn't say testing it, but trying it out. I'll have to see, but I'm trying it out before I show or really go into detail about it. But let's just say it may be useful. I may have a use for it. And I got it for free, and I'm reusing it or repurposing it. Because I just saw these characteristics of it. Like, when you think about something, whatever it is, right? It could be something as simple as a door, a piece of wood, right? It has characteristics or certain qualities to it. Such as, it's got some weight to it. It resists this. It's, something like that. It's not vulnerable to this, for example, A piece of metal may be, like, more durable than compared to a piece of wood or something like that. Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, in general, Double Dog. In general. I'm just saying in general. Because I'm not actually going to show the item. Because I'm still trying to see if it'll actually work the way I would. Because I just saw these certain characteristics of this one item, right? And this is, like, way past the usability state. I tried to repair it, blah, 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 and all that stuff. It was still doing its thing, and all that stuff. It's kind of annoying, make noises, all that stuff. I was just like, so ultimately, now, last option was, well, landfill, right? But I decided to try to repurpose this housing on this equipment. I don't know, it's got certain characteristics to it. I tried it all yesterday morning. On my previous, well, not on my previous live stream, but before my previous live stream started, I was just like, okay. You learned a few things from it, and some other things that are out there, right? Because the resources are out there for us to use. We just sometimes gotta bring them together. I see. Yeah, because like I said, for anyone that's been following me for a great length of time here on the channel, you will notice that from me. That I like to reuse and repurpose things. To the point that that people will say that on their own channel, in their own live streams, about what I do. Oh, Sierra, you like to repurpose stuff? Do you got any ideas? Or what can I use this for, right? I'm like, well, it's not in front of me, but I'm like, I'll say a few words or a couple sentences, or I'll type it out anyways on the side chat. I was just like, yeah. Right? Something to consider, right? Hey, it's Mother Earth. How are you doing? Good morning to you. As I try not to break out in song in the middle of the morning. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get some stuff done too. That's what I was talking about, was just a side thing that I'm doing on the side while I'm cleaning up here. I'm just kind of reorganizing a few things. Well, and apparently, I got this canned meat in the room that I need to put somewhere else here. Oh, I guess it's got 11 grams, well, of protein. Well, actually, that's the serving size, but maybe about, I don't know, 15 grams. Not crazy about the sodium level, but yeah. Ah, that's nice. You're doing good, my nerve. That's good. That's good. And yeah, put this aside here. Try to reorganize a few things. Like literally, and the reason I'm even talking about this because I just watched a video about like gear in itself. So, and that can extend out to resources and supplies. And since it's National Preparedness Month, I'm just like, well, you know what? This is the perfect time to talk about it. Cause yeah, and I'm not even I'm scripted out. I don't have to script it out like in a video. I'll just do it as part of this live stream. Although it won't be the whole live stream, but it will be most of this live stream unless I dive into something else. But because it got me thinking about like stuff. Like I actually wrote like a whole paragraph of a comment. Like I'm like thinking to myself the wording what I wanted to say. I was just like, yeah, this kind of makes sense. I mean, because they were talking about like the newest thing, right? And I mean, I'm just like, if you randomly have already seen this video, well, you already know that I already left the comments, so like you'll actually know what I will be saying about it. But like, let me see the side chat real quick. yeah. Straight up, ain't Double. Right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we do need resources, supplies, and gear to a certain degree. To a certain degree, right? Even a minimalist has something, right? You know, and also someone that's into what's known as maximalism, right? Has a lot more things, right? And then there's these every spot in between and all this other stuff, words that starts with age, and all this stuff that's thrown around as words out there, right? You know, people might have heard them. I won't say the word because I'm really, I mean, everyone's got something. Everyone's got something in their place right now. And once you're moving in, when you're moving in, right, you're still bringing something to your new home. The clothes on your back, right? The phone that's in your pocket. You know, some everyday carry type of items with you, right? Even, you know, you still got something on your, you know. For me, it would be, I still got my glasses on. You know, I might have a hat. Shoes, right? I mean, like, very rarely does someone actually, like, have, like, absolutely no resources, gear, or supplies. Everyone's got something. Some people have a little bit more. Some people have a little bit less. And some people have a lot more. And some people have a lot less. But we all got some form of it to a certain degree. Let's read my side chat real quick. Okay. Just seeing what Dog's saying. Okay. Because in this journey that I've been doing here on this channel, right? You know, yeah, I bought some stuff. Even new stuff, right? You know, I do it too, right? You know, but I've also been learning how to source out these resources, the gear, the supply. But I'll use the word resources because it'll, what's the word I'm looking for? It'll contain the whole section or this whole conversation a lot better overall. But yeah, basically that's what I mean, gear and stuff like that, the physical things, right? Because in the time that I've been doing this channel, right, I've learned so much more about the potential of things. It's not like I didn't know the potential of certain little things before, right? But I've rediscovered with CRNA some of the hidden potential of certain things. So secondary uses, tertiary type of uses for certain items. You know, even as simple as the jeans on your legs right now if you're wearing jeans. I've actually rediscovered a lot more potential in them, to the point that I can get several uses out of jeans. Actually, several uses. Like, I actually have this kind of, how do I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Not scaling, but I don't know. Not chart, flow. How I would flow the jeans in terms of a resource. Let me see the side chat real quick. I'll leave that on. I'll leave my herbs comment on there for a minute. Like, yeah, the jeans first and foremost, when you wear them as a part of clothing, a part of your shelter, right? That you have, right? You know, to cover your legs, blah blah blah, and all that stuff, to work with and all that stuff, right? And you know, eventually, in time, you know, no matter how well you take care of it, you know, nicks happen, rips happen, to a certain degree, right? To a certain degree, just because wear and tear happens, right? You know, you fall off a bike or you trip and you scrape the, yeah, you know, you, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, and you, tear your jeans because of a fall or something like that, right? So it happens, right? Or someone nicks it or whatever, right? Or you're doing something, or, you know, something along the lines of that, right? Or you outgrow them, or they're too big, or whatever, right? So, you know, the secondary use would be like, well, the next thing is you try to mend them, repair them in this case, right? Do what you can, right? And sometimes, you know, it may give you a little bit more time. Well, even after that, there's still something you can do with them, even if you can't wear them anymore, right? Because I know in the bushcrafting community, you know, something like charter cloth, which is basically a swatch of cloth swatch of like charcoal, if for lack of a better explanation, right? That's how I explain it to people that don't know this stuff or not in that knowing of that community or the lingo, right? Like, even at, you know, or the, you know, some of the homesteaders out there or whatever, right? Or people on a budget, right? They'll cut it up into ranks, right? So there's a lot of uses even after the fact that they're torn or you can't wear them, right? Like, even, like, I kind of misordered it, but, like, even after the rags, or you're using it for wiping or something like that, right? Or just to backtrack a little, you know, you can use the pockets. I know someone here on YouTube, on YT here, they're randomly listening, that'd be crazy, but and I follow them too, right? They made organizer with her jeans or some sort of hanging thing. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while, but like even something like that, and repurpose it, right? Which is very similar to making it into a pair, making it into like rags or whatever for washing or whatever, right? Like even to the point that I've reused them as a cooling towel. Remember, it is 100% cotton, hopefully, right? Nowadays, I don't know. Maybe some mixed materials in there or whatever, right? But like I've done that before as a cooling tool. My friends have seen it. People that I know have seen me doing it before, right? I've shown it, right? And even after all that, you can still make charcoal. So, like, if you look at it, a pair of jeans could do a lot more than you think. I mean, you can make patches with it and all that stuff, right? No room with that. Calm back on. Alan? Fair enough. I see you both. But yeah, one should be prepared for any sort of disruption or if I'm getting ready to have I need to do so taller or handicap accessible toilet. Oh yeah, I see. But yeah. Yeah, learning to replenish some skills is during tough times or hardship or whatever. Yeah, a good skill to have. Right. Let's see. Yeah. All right, back. So yeah, something I've been considering more and more, especially as time goes on, especially as this decade has gone on. You know, the resources out there, the gear, the physical things, the new things out there, aren't getting any cheaper at times, right? Or if they are cheaper or at the same price that they were, there's that the materials have changed, right? That pair of jeans, yeah, it's at the same price point at $50, but you feel it. It feels thinner. There may be what I call less reinforcement spots, right, around certain key areas of the said jeans, which just happens to have a CR in it, but I'm not gonna say it because this is a morning stream and not one of my late night streams. But yeah, right, reinforcement spots around those areas, right, the pockets and all that stuff, right, because to maintain that fixed price point of $50, right, or some arbitrary number like that, right? Corners have to be cut or turned or whatever, right? Or there's less material, less thread or whatever, right? Even if it's saving a couple cents or whatever on the material or whatever. Remember, because something like that is a business, it's mass produced, right? They're not just making, it's not just one garment. It's like literally thousands, right? So that kind of couple cents does add up. You think about it, right? Like even like 10 cents. Well, you times that by 1,000, that's $100, right? So you think about it like that. Yeah, I think so too. Man. Right? I mean, population is increasing, right? People want more or require more or need more, right? Depending on how you look at it, right? Doesn't matter what it is, too. I got solar lights hanging. Could be that. Batteries, right? I got rechargeable batteries. Think metal hydride batteries, right? Lithium batteries. Might have heard the stories or the news articles about that kind of stuff over the web or whatever, the grapevine, whatever they call it, right? I mean, could be a truck, right? A home, garage, shed, your coffee mug, and all that stuff. I mean, so when you're going out to go look for these resources, the gear, the supplies out there, right? You know, look for stuff that you can use that will give you the most bang for your buck, as they say, right? Something that you can use often, if possible, right? Get the most use to have it. So if you're spending, let's say, $50 on something, and you only use it once, well, you only used it once, right? Okay. But if you can use it 10, 20, 30 times, 40, 50 times, right? That's like 50 times. If you use, and I'm not going to name specifics, but because it won't make sense, but like if you bought something for $50 and use it 50 times for something, whatever the task or whatever it is, right? If you think about it, that's like $1 per use, right? Like for example, the jeans example that I said, right? Like if you wear it 50 times, like yeah, you're getting use out of it, right? Versus like something fast that's like you're getting like maybe a few uses out of it before it's in the back of the closet, it gets donated, it gets thrifted out, donated, right, to thrift shop or whatever, right, or you sell it, all right, and of course when you're selling something like that, you can't sell it as new, and you don't have so yeah, keep that in mind. Yeah, exactly, Bern. Exactly. Yeah. Easier said than done at times, right? Because, like, I've tried mending certain little things at times, and certain little things, I mean, like, I even have this pair of pants. Well, I'm not wearing them right now, but it's thinning out along the pocket side. And I actually should have changed my orientation. Oops. Yeah, whatever. Once I plug in my phone here. Along this right side of this pocket, because the way that I try to get my hand in my pocket and pull something out, like my keys or whatever, sometimes I've been wearing it down. Like, it's starting to, like, fray. Not only fray, but I'm starting to thin it out, right? And I'm trying to figure out how I can repair it. Keep it going. Because I don't mind the pants, and they're kind of comfortable and such in the summertime anyways, right? Around this time of year, more or less, right? And I'm like, you know what? I might have to resort to, like, not just mending or repairing, but I might have to patch it. May have to patch it if possible. I'm just trying to find something that's suitable in color, or at least more or less matching in terms of the shade or the tint of the color as much as possible. I may have something. I have to double check. I actually haven't compared it side by side, but it'd be interesting if I can pull it off, though. I don't know, maybe it'll become a video, I don't know. But it's just one of those things I'm trying to do. Take care, dog. Well, it's not just that, Verma. But yeah, there's more than just that. Now, you trying to buy local as much as you can, yeah, Murph? Yeah, I see, yeah. Oh, yeah, my phone is charging. But yeah, I mean, for anyone that hasn't seen these videos, I mean, I used to do them on location as I find them, but these things that I can find, let's just say, right? If you haven't seen any of those videos, go check them out. I would appreciate it. Especially basically what I did was I stopped doing it on location, and I started to group it together into an actual full-length video, which I call now the resource haul as part of it, right? Or in this case, the free resource haul. It was to not only piggyback on this whole culture, but like also like get the terminology and the keywords in there, but like kind of show a different version of it, right? in apprentice community, there's these food halls, right, or whatever, right? The clothing community, they have their fashion halls or whatever, right, and stuff like that, right? Or name a store, name that's any store name hall, whatever, right? I mean, people watch that stuff, right? So, but I decided to do it, piggyback on that, but in a way that I would do it for this channel. So this is why that came into existence, right? And to bring it together. But yes, and that's why it has its own playlist now, its own type of thumbnail, its own feel to it, right, and stuff like that. And by the way, there will be one this year again. I have one scheduled. I think currently I have it scheduled for October right now, next month. So you'll have to wait for that. But yes, I think it's those things that I find that I know have inherent usefulness to it. I can tell, right? Not everything I find can be useful, or I can repurpose to a certain degree, or get the use out of. It's just sometimes I find a dud, right? But then there's other times, actually countless times at times, like I take a look and it's just like it still works, you know. I find a disposable lighter, right? Whatever brand or whatever. Usually it's big type brand, but like I look at it and then it's half full, right? Well, that's still half full, right? Like let's just say a lighter like that costs $1 full or whatever, right? I mean, like, so that's like 50 cents right there or whatever, right? And that's an easy item that I can put into, like, say, fire kit, glove compartment or whatever, put it in within or beside or in the container or inside of, like, some sort of emergency lights out kit or power outage kit, blackout kit, whatever you want to call it, right? Or let's just say I had a bag that didn't have one in there. Well, I can add it in there, for example, right? And that resource, all of the resource within that layer gets to be, it's like, it gets to be used fully, right? Because let's just say it's in the middle of the road, like, obviously, I'm not gonna run in the middle of the road to pick up later, but hypothetically speaking, or just off to the side on a driveway, or like not a driveway, but like a parking lot, for example, like when you're shopping or whatever, right? Well, what's gonna happen? Eventually, someone's gonna run it over with a vehicle. All the butane will leak out, and then all you're left with is probably the spark mechanism, if that, right? So I'm getting it more life, more potential, right? And stuff like that. And it's not just gonna get ran over and break into a bunch of small plastic parts and go flying around everywhere, right? Dave's there? DK's there? Hi, Dave. Hopefully you're doing well. Oh, you're at the campsite? Yeah. Safe travels. Have some fun. All right. Maybe practice a few things too while you're out there, Dave. If you can, all right? Depending what you want to do out there, right? Relax or whatever. Try some stuff out that you might not be able to do at home. Oh, you're refilling your propane tank, yeah. I haven't quite done that all the way. I mean, I put on zippers, but I don't think it's that complicated. It's, like a zipper. It's actually trying to find one that's actually the same length, right? Because you're like, let's say a hoodie that has a zipper, right? If you're trying to repair the zipper, let's just say the zipper, you cannot repair it as it is, right? Because it's missing teeth on the zipper or something like that that's preventing it from the mechanism to be used all the way, just so you can zipper it all the way up, right? And yeah, you can unstitch that out. It's not that difficult, right? It's probably like trying to find a matching zipper that will work for it and has the length to extend all the way up, to your collarbone, I guess, right? And not only that, all right, trying to do it in a way that, that doesn't cost like $5 to buy a zipper for it, right? When the hoodie itself, you can get, let's just say you can hypothetically get it for 15, right? You'd be like, I might as well just get a new zipper, new hoodie then, right? But that's how it is, right? Sometimes the cost of the repair is like outrageously like improportional to the cost of getting something very similar a similar item new or relatively new, right? So, and the time and all that stuff that it takes, right? I mean, I've shown the sewing before, right? I mean, even a zipper to undo the stitching, right? It takes some time, right? As far as I know, there's no way to automate that, right? Yeah, you can use a sewing machine afterwards to sew the zipper on. It wouldn't take that long, right? But unstitching it to a certain degree, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah. You can shorten the zipper too. Yeah. If it's too long, yeah, you can cut it down. But like, obviously, if it's too short, it's not the work. It's just simply not the work, right? So that's another thing, right? Because I've experienced that before, where I'm like, I'm like trying to find something that's trim or whatever for something I'm making in terms of clothing or whatever, right? Fabric, and I'm like, it's too short. It's not the work, right? I'm like short like 3 inches, and I need that 3 inches of it, right? That kind of thing. So I'm just like, okay, not back to the drawing board, back to like trying to find one again, right? As much as possible. Wait, hold on a sec, because I have it nearby. Let me just gonna move things off. I've shown this before. For anyone that hasn't seen the video, well, there's a video on this where I made this, but yes. Before I do that, let me see the chance. Sometimes hand stitching can be shorter than some. Yeah, the back stitches, yeah. But it does take more time, right? Hand sewing will never be faster than, right? Than using a machine, but a machine does it. Well, let me rewind. A sewing machine will be faster than hand sewing. It will make even spacing for stitching, right, and stuff like that, and faster and stuff like that. And virtually anyone can use a sewing machine. Not everyone can hand sew, right? Hand sewing takes longer. However, hand sewing, you can, what's the word? Reinforce certain areas, or make the stitching tighter than the sewing machine can. However, it may be uneven. So consider that too. Oh, I see. I mean, yeah, see, and stuff like that. If you think about it like that, like, if the cost, let's say hypothetically, like, it costs like $20 to repair, but you can get a new one for 25 or 30, or whatever, right? If you think about it like that, it's probably no surprise why people go towards the latter half of that sentence, right? I guess. As I've shown this before on the channel. Where's my camera? No. I was just like, is my camera back? No. See, I've shown this before on the channel, right? I'll show this again. See, I still have it. All hand sewn. Alright? This is to reinforce what I'm saying. As an example, right? Trim on it, like I said, hand sewn. You can see the back stitching in there, right? This is just a pouch. Belt loop. What's up, Billy? I see you in there. Oh, and hello. Yes. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'll explain what I'm doing. Well, not doing, but the example here. You took a Pants never bought her and sold a jacket from a daughter out of good parts of the. Yeah. Use these. You repurpose what was still good quality material in this case, or the good quality of the resource itself, right? You know, maybe you weren't able to recover everything, mend it, repair it, or whatever, right? But you repurposed it, you reused it even after the repair option was off the table, right? And stuff like that, and you got something else out of it. That's awesome, Berna. That's awesome. Oh yeah, crocheting, yeah, hats, scarves, yeah, to a certain degree, yeah. And he's waving at the bottom. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, coming back to what I say here. Gotta move my chat. I can't see the chat right now because it'll probably help. Let me shrink that down. I'll just put that over here. You know, I made this with scraps. Like literally. Okay, well that's the back side. But yeah, this is the front side. Alright. Trim on it. This is all reclaimed material, by the way. Sorry, I don't have my tripod, but yeah. Even this trim, reclaimed material. I'm pretty sure I actually found it, too. If I remember right from that video. But yeah. So something like this, right? And I can hold a tablet inside. Actually, that might be a good idea right now, because I'm using the tablet. That way I don't actually have to hold it. But yeah. Because I got the headphones next to it. But yeah, something as simple as this. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, this took some time to do. And yeah, because I hand sewed it, right? But I learned so much from doing something like this. From the early times, the early years of making a very, very simple palm-sized pouch to something a little bit more complicated that has trim, multi-compartments, multiple pockets, you know, and stuff like that. Multiple stitch lines, right? Reinforced stitching, triple stitched. Well, actually, a lot of it is triple stitched because the way that I had to put this together, I connect the materials together. There's like 1, 2, 3 layers plus the trim, and all that stuff had to be sewn together, right? So something to keep in mind. And actually, there's something else I have to do over here. Have a real good time, Dave. With 2 E's in it. I had to say that. Yes, I did it by hand. Ah, I see, Merv. I see. I appreciate that, Verna. I'm rediscovering it. Potential. I think it's because, like, in school or whatever, right? Like, there's a set project that the teacher puts out, whatever it is, right? Let's just say, because I'm in the kitchen right now, like, you know, you got the sewing apron, so you gotta do that, right? It's just part of the class, right? You get graded for it, right? You don't want to fail by not doing it or whatever, right? So, like, yeah. But outside of school, as an adult, whatever, right? I can do things that I want to make or need to make to store something in wherever, right? So, yeah. So I decided to try it out. I'm like, why not? And like I said, like I showed in that video, it fits a tablet. I can put other things in it, right, and stuff like that. I mean, I've shown people around here, right? Right. Even my relatives, I showed my relatives before, like my aunt and stuff like that, and they're like looking at me like they're like, you know, because they're older than me, right? They're definitely older than me, right? You know, I remember when I was a kid talking to them and stuff like that, right? When they were still as they were an adult, I was still a kid, right? So like it's been that long, right? And they see that they're like, "You did that, Sierra?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, right." Like, cause like, you know, if I showed you guys this more in detail or whatever, or in person, you'd be like, looking at it, right? Because obviously a picture only shows so much, right? But when you can see the stitching and all that stuff, well, to a certain degree, the close up view of it and stuff like, and feel it in your hands, right? And kind of feel some like craftsmanship, quality, whatever, right? I mean, like I said, this is just all reclaimed material, right? I think if I remember right, the trim. Actually, I found the trim. I found the trim because it was webbing type of material, right? It just happened to be like long enough and just like what's not the length, not the thickness, but that kind the width of it was just right? It wasn't like 2 inch or 1 inch webbing that I would have to cut down or whatever, right? This is just like, you know, like I don't even know what it was originally used for, right? Similar to like those like security guards that might have like the thing around their neck and with a little badge or whatever, the VIP, something like that. If you think about it like that, right? That has a removable clip on the back of the neck and stuff like that. If you think about it like that, I don't even know what they call it, but you see that at events or whatever when you go out and such, right? Some people will use them to hold their keys and stuff like that, right? I mean, I've actually technically used that kind of stuff before, but it's just something. I think I need more coffee. Anyways. Hi, Howie. I see you in there. Let's see here. Back to what I was. Yeah. You used to use a sewing machine. You just hand stitch. Let's see, Verna. Okay, Verna. I see you, Howie. And Chad jumped on me. Yeah, I see that too at times. But are perfectly good things for what it is, relatively speaking. Relatively speaking. You're one of those old people that complain about the younger people. In your days, we dot. Finish the sentence. Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends what you're doing, my Irv. I mean, like, if you're sewing something that's really big, that might take some time to hand sew, right? And like I said, so there is a benefit to a sewing machine, right? As I treadle along this path of sewing, it seems. See how I stitched in, like, a funny right there? But yeah. Yeah. And the next comment's from Berta. Billy sees Howie finally. Yeah, I understand, Merv. I mean, like, if you're gonna use a sewing machine because you can't hand sew anymore, yeah, I get that. I understand that, right? I understand that. It's how it is, right? You know, I mean, as much as a sewing machine can do and all that stuff, right? And yes, you can patch it or whatever. Sometimes, in terms of mending, sometimes you gotta hand sew it, just because it's in this very small, tight area in a pocket or whatever that you can't really get your sewing machine the material or whatever to walk into the area of the sewing machine. Yeah, you can do it by hand. Just takes a little time, right? Bailey, you know you can increase the font size, right? There's a way around that, right? Or like Verna said. Slow nod, yeah. Oh, that's cool, my Earth. That's cool. You did that for your son. Cool. What? As long as you're not bald, CR, you can sharpen your sewing needles. Oh wow. Oh my. You think he has put on some extra in the tummy? You guys are cracking me up here. But yeah. So something like this, right? I'm just like, and the thing is, like when I made it originally, right? I didn't use any pattern. I mean, you could see it's not perfectly rectangular, right? It doesn't have the really nice, sharp 90-degree corners, right? Or the rounded. I mean, it's more like it's got the rounded corners, right? But I did take some time in terms of the sewing, obviously, but like material, right, and such, right? You know, putting the good side out, and all that stuff, right? I've added a belt loop onto this. I can wear, like I showed in that video, I can wear it like a backpack or a sling type of bag, a purse, whatever, right? I mean, since it's kind of a single color to a certain degree or whatever, right? It's kind of a unisex color or something like that, right? So like, doesn't matter, anyone can use it, right? And stuff like that. I mean, sometimes when I'm having it and people were, I show people it, they're like, "What? You made that?" Oh, right? They're like, "Wow, you're so handy." I'm like, "Oh no, just I was just practicing. I needed I needed something for this tablet, right? So if I'm using wired headphones or whatever, right, I can bring it along, for example, without actually having to hold it in my hand while I'm walking, right? So if I'm like, gardening, let's say gardening or whatever, right? So I can have it with me. So I needed something. And, I know a lot of people would be like, just buy something, cigar, right? Well, yeah, I can get something, buy something, right? But wouldn't have the same characteristics, the attention to detail, the extra pocket, I can put it on a belt. Can I wear it like a backpack kind of thing, right? Or is it just gonna be a sleeve? Right? I'd be like, I need more than just a sleeve for this tablet. I need some more functionality out of it. So I'm like, and stuff like that. So I'm like, whatever. I'll make it. All right. Like I've said in our videos and I've said in our live streams, if you cannot buy something or find it, you're probably don't have to create it yourself, or at least have someone create it for you, right? I'll have some skill in the tools, right? But this is why I made it in the first place, right? This is the if anything, this contains the main part of this stream and why I'm showing this. And relates into this video that I saw earlier this morning about like I'm trying to remember the name of the video, the title, but it's like gear need question mark, something like that, right? Because they were going into details about something, new high-tech glasses, new multi-tool, right? That can do all this and that, right? So if you think about it like that. let's see here. Oh, okay, Verna, I see what you mean. Well, yeah, exactly, Verna. Like, let me highlight that real quick here. Yeah, making it yourself means, like, because it's customized, right? It's customized to your requirements for it, your needs, for lack of a better word, right? Like, so it's specifically fine-tuned for said item, object, whatever, gear or whatever, right? I mean, like, in the bushcrafting community, right, the whole leather sheath, custom leather sheath is a popular thing, alright? Popular thing. Custom cutting tools. Wow, I can't even say. It's real popular too. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what I was kind of talking about. Yeah. Really, yeah. Yeah. What? It's like $500. So I heard. Right. So I've heard. Right. I mean, it could be anything like that, or like the next phone, the newest phone, whatever. Right. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like, you know, learn how to create a phone, but you know. That may be out of most people's range of expertise or being able to do on their own. Oh, wow. That's hot. Well, Lorna, it's not just that you're making exactly the items you need, it's the sizing, too, right? So it's more tailored to the person that's using it or wearing it in this case, right? For example, that's like the difference between like getting a two-piece suit to having one tailored for you, right? I mean, there's pros and cons, price and all that stuff, but it is what it is. It's almost like people want to get paid for doing the work, right? And I just realized I didn't. I've been looking at my coffee. It's like on there too. I'm like, I had to go grab it. She calls them mom's art. Aww, isn't that so awesome? Mom, yes, I love your mom art. Oh, okay. I could just picture that, or at least hear it in my head. Saying that, I'd be right there. I'd be like, nothing like creating something to make people happy. And the thing is about something like that, like what I said as my comment for this channel when I wrote the video, right? We all go through it to a certain degree. Or at least most people do, right? Some people can control it to a certain degree, right? It's because, you know, like, it doesn't matter if you're buying online, like Amazon, it could be any big box store or whatever. It could be a yard sale. It could be a thrift store. It could be a garage sale. It could be a estate sale. It could be, you know, an auction or whatever, right? It's that same thing. Because you want to, quote unquote, get something with money, right? So, you know, everyone knows the term smart shopper, right? So, like, and things like impulsive buys, all right? We all know someone that impulsively buys something, right? We might have impulsively bought something too, all right? I'm guilty of that too. Yeah. Like, I actually was on a, you know, true story too, right? Here's a true story behind this, alright? You'll probably never hear me ever say again, but,
I was kind of like on this date with someone, right? And we just had like cake, right? And we went into this big box store, right? And I saw this multi tool, and I kind of bought it on a whim, and I'm kind of EDCing it, and yeah, yeah, that was like zero, like let me think about it. Let me think about it. Turned into like I'm on at the cashier or at the checkout with it. I mean, I have recently more justified purchase of it, but I'm like, originally I'm like, did I just do that? All right. So like I'm guilty of that too, right? All right. So I've shown it before, but yeah. Bobby, how's it going, Bob? Hey, speak of rhubarb, I actually have a friend that's a gardener that's trying to grow some rhubarb stalks out before the end of the season here, or at least get a little bit more out of it. So, just something I'll add in there. Yeah, that too. I know Bob. I know Bob tries to make do, right? Like many of you out there, right? Like, yeah, we trying to make do. Yeah, we buy something new or whatever, right? Or new to us, anyways, right? With money or whatever, right? But sometimes, some of us also, including myself, trying to reuse something we already got on hand, right? Whatever it is, could be wood, metal, for fabrication, right? I know Bob does some fabrication of sorts, right? Maybe you're wood crafting something or whatever, right? Or using cardboard from the package that you got, from the packaging you got for like whatever shelf, fridge, I don't know, whatever stuff like that, that you got, right? As much as possible. Let you guys talk about the rhubarb. I was thinking of the multi-tool. Rhubarb, not rebar. Is meddling in with what I was trying to say. Pop so don't fire me. But yeah. I mean, I have something else in front of me. I'm not going to show it because I actually want to show it in a video a little bit more in detail. But let's just say, since a certain item has been changing over the last, let's say, 10 years or whatever, right? And the thing is, this item the survival community, the bushcrafting community used to use it a lot. Every so often I'll see the videos still on it, but they can store something in, right? But because they've changed the material now to be more sustainable and avoid plastic anyways, right? They've changed it, right? Well, let's just say I found a use for the current material. I'm not gonna show it because I'm trying it out right now still with a couple prototypes in front of me, but let's just say it may be useful. It's something I can adapt in, let's just say. I used to have rhubarb here. I used to, but things had to change. I kind of wish I kind of like moved it, but I don't know. I've been reconsidering it. I know I have friends that grow it. So, it's just been a while. Maybe I should reconsider it again. I kind of miss it at times. Well, I just don't know how I would use it now, but, like, when I was younger or whatever, right, I used to have it. I just kind of miss it now. Just like how I'm kind of missing the food. And so you guys just brought up rhubarb. Now I'm just thinking of plants. Now I'm thinking of food. Now I want to sell it. Now I want to grow something. And now you know what? Screw it. See you, Verno. Why not? Oh, wait. Focus. Yep. Yep. Oh, sorry. I ate it. Sorry, I ate it. It disappeared. But yeah. What's my time right now? It's 20 minutes too. I don't know. I've heard it as a pear shape, pear. I just describe it like that, I think. Because if I didn't know the name, I would have to describe it by texture, by senses, right? So color, taste, smell, and stuff like that, right? Also, I'm probably not gonna hear it, right? It's not like it's crunchy. Crunchy tomato doesn't sound that appealing. Maybe if it's dehydrated, I don't know. I don't know the name. I'm not as knowledgeable as some of you gardeners out there. No things by name. I just know things by characteristics at times, right? Some gardeners out there, I don't know what it's called, but it's easy to grow, blah blah blah. You know, I'm that kind of person. Right? Eventually, hopefully, I'll know name. I'll know it. I'll know it by name, or at least a name that I can refer to, at least, right? And you know. So you can search it up or whatever, right? Maybe I should just have another one while I'm at it. I mean, you guys are still talking about the food. I tried tomato and all. Oh, Howie. But yeah. Let's see. Now that my phone's charged up to 66%, there's a yellow tomato I need in your hand. Dr. Blue's flavor and beast and a beast inside. Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, the yellow pear drop. I don't know, something along the lines of that. I was showing someone else and they're like, yeah, and they did a quick search, right? I'm like, well, okay, I'll keep that in mind. You know, just to have a name to refer to by, but besides, you know, describing it with like sentence after sentence to describe it. Or you could just call it this name. Oh, wow. Really? That's awesome, Larry. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. But yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotta remember since it's morning here. There's something very... Well, not very, but something important I need to do. Here that I usually do in the morning. I just didn't do it this morning. Because I actually have to... get some these soroids. I have in the sun a little bit more here. And bring them outside a little bit more here. I'll just have something here just to put them into, but like I've shown some of these soroids before. I just want to get them more of a charge, a little bit more. I mean, it's still supposed to be sunny tomorrow, but I just want to get more of the batteries charged while I'm at it beforehand. So they can gather all this awesome solar energy that I'm more or less getting right now. It's hazy again, I can tell. Because it's either that or the sky's not completely clear, but I'm pretty sure it's hazy. Because the air quality is like at a 4 right now, which is actually worse than yesterday, as it says it. But yeah, so I'm gonna make sure I get it out. What's it, Bill? Son? You jealous?
I mean, your cherry types do well, but fix watering issues. I split 50% of your stuff. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, I think the cherry tomatoes are like relatively straightforward. Right? I have three little issues with like splitting and stuff like that. Also, a bigger tomato split. There's just more water in it, right? Things can happen, right? Usually, yeah, like I have some minor imperfections, surface imperfections on some of these cherry tomatoes, right? I'm like and stuff, but I could just peel that or cut that away. It's not actually under the surface. Well, I'll just use that word. There's probably a technical word that someone could tell me, but I can't think of it right now. Let's see here. I'm sure I got this stuff outside. And this little pouch, case, whatever you want to call it. I'm actually wearing it right now. It's actually on my shoulder. It's kind of nice. I just have to go get this other one I have. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Now I remember what I was supposed to do today here. I need to charge some of our batteries here. Because I was testing out something last night. Like I briefly spoke to some people about this, but I was just trying out some lights last night. And they're like, why were you trying the lights last night, Sierra? Well, I was testing out this other light that I got, which may make an appearance later in a video or whatever, or a live stream, but I was just checking out the runtime on it. Just fun. Just because I can. Alright. And I'm like, well, this seems like a perfect opportunity. Right? Just sitting and watching some videos or whatever. I'm like, okay. So I just had the light source on the whole time. Alright. Just so I can get a sense of like the runtime on it and such, right? Or how long do I have to recharge or charge this up for the amount of power or of visible light that I'm gonna get out of it. Give me 1 sec here. Let's see. You guys are just talking about. Oh, that's awesome, Merv. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you know what I meant, that, it probably can happen, but it's less likely. I just think it's because the tomato is physically smaller. It's physically smaller compared to, like, what they call a slicer or, like, something medium-sized one, right? I mean, like, let's see. Here. Here's a good size comparison right here. Okay, alright. This compared to this. This actually is. I grew this one. Alright, that's why it's still got nut on it. Ooh, look how shiny it is. Okay, yeah, see, imperfection, right? But that's just not necessarily cosmetic, it's just surface. Actually, yeah. But not sure what I'll do with that one. I know what I'll do with the cherry variety, though. That's cloudy there for you? Let's see. What was I gonna do for... Oh, yeah. There's a certain battery I have to charge up. Yeah, there's a certain battery I have to charge up because it's actually all drained, dead, whatever you want to call it. So I gotta make sure... No, appreciate it, Howard. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was just like... It wasn't too overly difficult. Yeah, I had to try. I gotta water it or whatever, right? But besides that, I gotta to do its thing. Hold on one sec. I can still barely see the chat, but I gotta move this. And I need both hands. And such. And I get the graphs. Hold on one sec. Alright, I just had the graphs in here. Let's see. You gotta go, Howie? Okay. See you, Howie. I think you already left, but I just said it anyway, sorry. I got the device into something. That's why it sounds like different. Because I'm holding the phone with it. Or using it right here. But yes, I can still see the chat. I just have to slip this outside here. There may be some background noise or whatever, but it is what it is. Like I said, it is sunny outside. Yeah, someone's running some stuff. You'll hear it. But hopefully I'll be able to talk over it. Shut my door here. And get these lights out here. So, get these charging here. Oh, I guess it would help if I turn the solar panel to face the sun, eh? That'd probably be a smart thing, right? These are just simple garden solar type of lights, right? Nothing too special, right? I just have something to put them in to bring them outside with, right? I mean, I have other solar lights too that I use as terms of like lighting out here, but some of these other ones I use inside. They're quite useful. Or I actually, like I'm doing with one of them right now, I'm recharging a battery with it. Because actually it uses a AA size, like a type of rechargeable battery, but I need to recharge a AAA. So I'm using sunshine to recharge this AAA. Again, well, literally solar power. Because I need to recharge the battery for my Streamlight right now. Because I had to use I was using the Streamlight the other day and all that stuff. Yeah, my Irv. I spoke to someone yesterday about that, actually. I was just like, oh, yeah, that'll work quite nicely. Alright. Just talking to them about that. Because they grow tomatoes too, right? I was talking to them last night. It's just a couple friends. They're not too far away, but, you know, they grow stuff too. They grow a nice garden too. You know? They got various things, so it's, I think, ginger, tomatoes. They also got sunflowers too, right? They got strawberries. This is the same story about rhubarb that I was talking about. Same people, so they're really cool to talk to. I really enjoy talking to them and visiting their place, seeing their own kind of, like, you know, for lack of a better term, their own garden space, their own food forest of sorts, right? Their own paradise of such, right? And, right? I mean, I've helped them out before too, and such, right? I remember helping them out, setting up a compost bin, right? That's kind of fun because they were building it or creating it, right, from scratch. I was just like, yeah, I'll help you guys. It's like, oh, you don't have to see it. I'm like, yeah, no, this is fun. You guys are putting something together or creating something, right? Yeah, I know you guys were, because creating is what I do, or at least want to do. Yeah, I know you're not hearing the sounds because I'm outside. I can hear it in the distance. I know you guys can hear that because I can hear it. Oh, really, Merv? Wow, that's awesome. Okay. Ginger roots? Wow. Awesome, awesome. Maybe one of these days I can try something like that. Maybe one of these days I can try something like that. But in the meantime, I'll try these other things like sunflowers and, and tomatoes. And get proficient at doing something like that too. As much as possible. As much as possible, so do that kind of stuff. Oh, at least I'll get plenty of solar energy for the day. I'll probably be able to get at least a good 8 hours in. It's supposed to be sunny most of the day. Like I said, there's haze in the sky. The sky's not totally that sky blue color. It's more like, washed out with white to a certain degree. Like, it's very uniform too. So I'm pretty sure it's haze, not cloud cover. And not only that, the forecast shows it too, so that's another good thing. I mean, not a good thing, but that's another indication of it, right? So I can see it and it's in the forecast, or it's forecast right now. That's the weather. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Myra. Oh, yeah, you're getting cloud there. Yeah, I wish I could get some rain here. I mean, it keeps showing in the forecast. They've delayed it a day or two. Last night, it wasn't there. This morning I checked, it's back in, but it's on a different day. And it still says around like 30-40%, right? Hey, let's see. At this rate, I'll get the rain after I harvest everything. Right? It won't happen while I need the water right now. That kind of deal, right? So I'm just like, yeah. I mean, yesterday I had the water. I wish I had rainwater instead to water with, but it is what it is. I'd rather use rainwater, but yeah. I've been out with rainwater for like over a week now. I mean, my max capacity is not that high for rain catchment capacity, but I've been thinking maybe I need a little bit more. Oh, it's 67 there. That's about like 18, 19 Celsius. Yeah, that's more or less the temperature here, more or less. It's supposed to be 80 here today, 27 Celsius. So it'll be a warmer day again. I opened up a window last night to let some coolness in, cool down the inside temperature a bit. It's gonna be warm today again, so I have the windows closed now. It's actually the outside temperature is actually rising above what the inside temperature is to a certain degree. So, which means that the heat's not migrate from hot to cold, or in this case, outside to inside in time. And it's still morning here. It's still morning here out west. So yeah. I'm a dog bed apparently. Both dogs are sleeping on my lap. That's funny. That's funny. That's definitely funny. Yeah. So let's see how much solar energy I can get. I gotta make sure my things work here. Hold on a sec. I should have brought my, not tripod, my other adapter out for the phone, but whatever. Okay. Good thing I double checked. It was in the I didn't make a complete circuit with it. So, good thing I checked. Or else I'd be like 8 hours later. What? There's no charge on it? Then I realized, because I didn't complete the circuit for the electricity to go through and around to charge up the battery. That would help. Yeah, but that's still like 80. That's still like 20 pounds on your lap, though. All right. That's like me putting about like let's say, it's like 2.5 gallons on your lap. Let's say a milk or water or something like that. Yeah, there is another thing I have to do today. I gotta harvest a few more things here. I can actually see them in front of me. They're turning more red. And what's the today's what, the 9th? So yeah, we're already done the first week of September. So there's still some life in these plants. Just take a look real quick. I'll probably have to water them too before I slide back inside. Yeah, one of my cherry tomatoes, there's a slight split on it. I can see it right now. Slight split in it. I mean, it's not very dramatic, but I still see it. You know, like it's squishy now, right? It's not firming, or there's some give on the skin, which means that, you know, there's some moisture on the inside and stuff like that. Versus in our green tomato that, you know, it feels solid still, right? There's not much give. And of course, the color hasn't changed on it. Well, at least they keep you warm, right? At least they keep you warm, right? Next thing, you'll be like, man, I'm just getting so hot and sweaty. Yeah, because, you know, you got a heat source right on your lap. And they've been sitting on your lap for like the last like hour. Yeah, I'll have to pick some of these. Maybe I'll make a video. Maybe I'll make a video on it. I'll have to check. There's no reason why I had to come outside. I had to check on a few things here too. Not only the sorroids, but I had to check on some of the stuff I'm growing here. I'll probably have to give them water again, I think. I gave them some of them water yesterday. Hi, Crow. Check out some of the stuff. Oh, look at that. I'd show you guys, but it's part of a video later. But I would just say, I see 2 bees on it. And they're enjoying it. Oh yeah, they are moving. Let's see here. No, well, no, that one hasn't bloomed yet. It's about to. My other ones I have, yeah, they're blooming. They look very, very nice. Oh, there's a bee on that one too. Nice, nice, nice. Check the moisture underneath the mulch. Yeah, I can still feel some coolness down there, a little bit of moisture, so it's still good. Might be good for the day. I might have to water it again tomorrow for it. I gave it some water yesterday, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's still noticeable. Maybe I'll use it for a soup or something like that instead. We'll see how it goes. I know I want to record it before I start doing it though. As a part of the video for later on. Although if I shoot this video and all that stuff, if I want to make it won't make an appearance this month. Probably next month, at the earliest. And chiming in with this other video I have scheduled for next month right now. Let's see. As like I said in my previous live stream, which was technically yesterday, Monday, I have videos set in stone right now for this month, for National Preparedness Month. And I appreciate everyone that dropped by on my last video. Looks like I've gotten pretty good response out of it. Like, you know, the view count's still going up, even after the first 72 hours. So that's nice. Very nice indeed. Really? Yeah, I could see that happening, or hear that happening, I should say. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna check out the moisture level. Some of these containers I have, make sure they didn't dry out too much. I'll probably have to use water, and unfortunately, container here. I've already used rainwater, but unfortunately I don't have rainwater available, so I'll have to do it the conventional way. Alright, I'll have to do it the conventional way. Alright, the conventional way. See, I'm not saying the conventional way. I'm just using this to fill it up. Go back to the tap. And make sure I turn that off. Clockwise to turn it off. And use this air container I have to water it with. Just pour it in here. And pour it in here. Hold on. I need 2 hands with this. I don't want to spill the water because, well, every drop will count this right now. Because it's easier for me to water it with a smaller container versus when I just filled it up with, or that container that you saw. I've shown it before on the channel. On a different, I think it was either a video or a short, or both. One or the other. Alright. Let's get this some water here. Like I said, it's supposed to be 80 Fahrenheit today, 27 Celsius, so I could justify using the water and kind of saturating it a bit. Yeah, use that for now. Put the container back. Fill up the container back up. I can use it later. Give it some water. You're probably not done here with this. I like that sound. I don't know why I like that sound. I like that sound when the water is like, where the air is coming out from the ground, but the water's penetrating through the soil. I like that sound. I don't know why. It always sounds like it's like a slurping sound. It's like, like it's just like the soil's just absorbing, sucking that water through the medium. Well, not only that, you get something like gnats and stuff like that, right? So I get it, whatever. Just do something real quick out here. Allow the sunshine to hit the plants. Charge up the solar stuff that I have around here. That's one thing I've been considering. I mean, especially if money was available for it too, and the budget and all that stuff, like to expand on this solar. I mean, I got small, even intermediate scale, but I want to get something a little bit bigger, like, you know, like full solar panels, like not just like a couple inches or whatever, right? Or half a foot, but like I'm talking about like solar panels, like, you know what I mean, like they're people size, that kind of thing. I did consider it back a while back, but I just never dropped the money for it, even though I had the money for it at that time. I decided to go, I think, get food or something else instead at that time. So, but now that I've been thinking about it more, I'm like, I might consider it again. Especially once I get the money back to doing it again. Yeah, I know. I mean, they just bug you as they fly around. You know, they don't hurt you or whatever it is. Kind of tick you off or bug you. Yeah, I gotcha. Just taking a look at my fuzzy melons here. Some of them are growing nicely, actually. Alright, I'll show you guys. See? Fuzzy melon. And yeah, remember when you see this. So yeah. Oh, do you? You got a hydroponic? Nice. That's so cool. That reminds me of this like system that I saw yesterday from my other my other follower, who I also follow, right? She was showing hers and stuff like that. I think she's growing dill, lettuce, and green onion, something along the lines of that. I'm pretty sure it's hydroponic or aero garden. I don't know, whatever brand. That kind of thing, or indoor gardening type of system with grow lights, medium, and also the water and all that stuff, right? I was just like, wow, they grew quite nicely for the period of time, for a monthly period of time, for what it is. Yeah, I know people with that. I know some of my followers have something like that. Along the lines of that. But first, I need to get better at gardening before I start buying. Use what I got first. Get used to it. Right? Understanding it. Versus, something like hydroponics, whatever brand, right? Aero gardener or whatever, isn't gonna make you a better gardener, right? Isn't gonna make you a better gardener, all right? It just takes the kind of guesswork out, right? It's a system, right? With, let's say, grow like a medium, the sponge, right, and all that stuff. A vessel to contain the water, a pump to circulate the water, right? It takes the whatever word I should be using out of it, right? The guesswork out of it and stuff like that. So I got that watered and such. I checked on my other plants. Why mounted? Like right below where I actually have these fuzzy melons, I've been actually, chopping and dropping a few things here. All right, covering the soil. Because this spot that I'm at, it's south-facing. That's why I can't really show too much of it because there's a lot of glare from the sun behind me on my screen. But I actually had to make sure the ground, the soil is covered with something because it heats up very, very quickly, like very, very quickly. Like during the winter time or whatever, right? Or even early in the spring. It's the first spot in my area here that the snow melts on because, it's next to a building and it's next to a heat source, like a building, and it's south-facing. So it gets that sunshine if it's available, right? And stuff. As I slide back inside here. Get a mini tomato plant and put it in a sunny window. This works well indoors as well has less sun requirements. Oh, okay, noted. Get a mini tomato plant. Well, Mother Earth. Just like this little time lapse that I showed earlier in the year, back in March, where I showed something like that. Although that shorts was like, I showed it in March, or scheduled for March, but literally that was back in December. But yeah, I still had, so I've tried that. I have tried that. Oh, I gotta remember. Shoot. See, I still have some tomato plants up there. I was actually considering because there's a few suckers on it, right? Where they can grow like new flowers and new But basically, what I'm saying is like, maybe I should get one of those suckers and try to stick them in some water so it can grow some roots. And maybe I can regrow another plant out of it. Not for outdoor use, but for indoor use. Get some potting mix. I got do something like that. Pretty sure I got some containers I could do it with. I mean, I have tried it before with success, right? Like, I even talked to my other gardening friend, like, that I spoke of earlier, right? I'm like, I asked him, have you ever tried that? Tried what, Seer? Regrow a tomato plant from a clipping, right? Or in this case, a sucker, as they call it, right? So I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no. I'm like, yeah, I've tried it before. It reminds me of it. Thanks for bringing that up, my Earth, because it reminds me of it. It reminds me of it. Some of the suckers are longer, so I can actually do it with. It'll be long enough that I can actually stick them in water and try to sprout some roots on it. Because once the roots come back on that, then I can stick it back in the soil or in the ground or whatever, right? And it'll grow like a plant. It'll be a clone from the parent plant, whatever that parent plant is. Take care of my Earth. Yeah, I'll probably be doing a few things like that too. Let's see, what's my time right now? Or after? I'll probably go to like either the bottom of the hour or the 2 hour mark, whatever. One or the other. One or the other. I know I got some people listening in. I still got five in the still got 5 people in the crib right now with me. And I'm gonna enjoy some coffee. First here, consider what I'm doing here. I gotta deal with some tomatoes. Yeah, I definitely gotta deal with some tomatoes. See if I can regrow, get a clone or something like that. Yeah. That's cool. But how much yield do you get out of that though? I'm assuming a cherry variety, or maybe a medium size. I'm not saying I'm probably not. You're probably not getting like, quote unquote store size, as they say, right? Or that kind of typical size for a tomato. Maybe like that bigger one that I showed earlier, which I can see right now. That's about the size of something else. Hold on, I gotta check on some. I notice on it. Hold on. I have to check on something. Give me 1 sec. Alright, never mind. Hey, it's Vanessa! Hello, Vanessa. How are you doing? Miss Vanessa, how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. It's nice to see you again. Virtual away from CR. How's all that letter working projects doing for you, Vanessa? Oh, yeah, you did? That's cool. Oh, yeah, it's nice, right? Something like that, too, right? Because, especially, all you see outside my Earth is, like, a bunch of snow or it's a place where, it's just kind of nice, right? It's just kind of nice. It reminds you of springtime. You're just like, okay, it's only a couple more months. It's January already, December. It's only a couple more months until spring. Right? Keep your, yeah. Take care of my Earth. Yeah, I know you. Where you're just like, oh, I overshot it. I've had that happen to me. I'm like, oh, I way overshot it by like a block or two, right? I've done that before. Walking too, right? I'm just like, especially at a new place or I haven't been there before. I'm like, oh, I overshot it. For what it is, right?
I mean, like, I'm chopping and dropping some leaves already. But, I mean, most of the leaves are still on the trees, right? Don't get me wrong, it's not like a full-fledged autumn, but the the overnight temperature has dropped at times. Not specifically today, because it's supposed to be 8 Fahrenheit today. Probably a low of, I don't know, 55, 57 Fahrenheit, 14, 15 Celsius. So, but this is more of the warmer side of the average versus like what I saw the other day. Or yeah, yeah. I mean, I've seen the 40s too, where it's under 50 Fahrenheit, under 10 Celsius, single digits here. I've seen that in the morning and such, right? But we'll see how it turns out. There's still some time, to do some gardening. A little bit more, get some more done. Harvest a few more things, among some other things. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, so it's 20 after. I see. Yeah, you're not getting any rain too, Vanessa. I haven't gotten any rain all month. It's already the 9th. So at least, it's gonna be at least 2 weeks. There's no rain in the forecast this week. There may be a chance next week, but that's next week. Like I said earlier, and this rate, I'll harvest everything, then it'll rain. I'll be trying to figuring out what to use all that rainwater for. We'll see. Maybe I can use it for other reasons. Depending how much there actually physically will be. So as I've planned my day a little bit here, like I said, the harvest, I gotta harvest a few things, maybe process a few things here. It won't take me that long to do. Alright. But it's one of those things I need both hands for, or to run machinery, so that's why I'm not actually doing it right now. But I'm thinking about it and seeing what I can put in. Oh, you got a ring yesterday? I see, Vanessa. I see. Yeah. I wish it would rain out here. That'd be nice. I'm definitely not getting that balance of sunshine and rain right now, like I did back in August and July, even June to a certain degree. This looks exactly the same as May for me. The only difference is that there's more green outside, and things are fruity. All right, like almost the daylight hours is the same, because this is before the summer solstice, and now we're coming into the equinox time. Alright, so I guess on the bright side, it's not that hot, and there's less daylight, technically, right? Especially if we're coming into this equinox time, right? You know, more or less 12 hours daylight and, well, nighttime. I see. See, Vanessa. Okay, that didn't touchdown by you. Yeah, that would kind of suck. For what it is. I mean, I've never experienced high winds that high or that strong, but I've experienced which there's a wind scale called the Beaufort scale, right? That for judging like wind speed and stuff like that. It says it in kilometers and miles, and it also physical things that you can see, right? branches breaking, whatever, right? Shingles lifting off a roof or whatever, right? That kind of thing, right? Where 10 is hurricane strength, right? 0 would be calm. I've seen, I think, 7 or 8. Remember, I live inland, right? And usually that kind of stuff is more consistent kind of wind, right? But yeah, I mean, I've seen strong gusts before too, right? I mean, how long ago was this? Like 8 years ago, 2017, 2018? I showed some wind damage here, right? From winds. You know, that brought down some trees, right? Luckily around here, no one got hurt, as far as I know, right? No one had major damage, right? You know, we're basically the canopy's just reaching like the front door of someone's place, right? So like, there's no structural damage, right? I've shown it before and stuff, right? Actually, that was the same time. That was the same time where I harvest some fat wood because it knocked down a pine tree, right? So I'm like, I'll take some time, get rid of some fat wood out of it, right? I still got some of it. So I've used some of it since, but I still got some of it for right now. Yeah. Windsock. Yeah, that's kind of funny. But, yeah, that kind of makes sense. So yeah. So I'll probably go harvest some things and maybe try to start a clone a plant. I don't know. Since I'm harvesting anyways. I'll probably have to bring a container out, like a wall or whatever, to gather them up. Actually. Yeah, I got 45 on the phone. So like I said, I'm only going until... I'll probably go right to this 2-hour mark. Yeah, I think I will go right to the 2-hour mark. Get a container out to gather some of this stuff. Wool. Probably don't need that. Get some more coffee in me, top it off. Alright. As they say. Amongst some other things I need to take care of. Check on these solar lights. And I'm charging. Well, the batteries anyways. So I gotta charge up some AAA batteries to use. Because I figured, yes, it's gonna take more time for me to charge the the batteries with solar, but I'm also not. I mean, it's also independent from the grid, right? And I'm pulling wattage from the outlet, so to speak, right? And besides, I think for most of the rest of this week, it's supposed to be sunny out. I mean, yes, because I have haze in the sky. I'm not getting 100% solar energy, right? But it is some, all right? Probably enough to top off a battery, all right? Give me that. Within that, let's say 1.15, 1.2 volt range for the battery. So either the AAA in this case or a AA. That way I can use them later if necessary. Because actually I had to use a headlamp like the other week, so I gotta top it off. Stuff like that. And there's this other thing here that I have to top off while I'm at it. Check on the charge on some of these batteries with a multimeter. Charge these all up, top them back off, right? And these other batteries I have that are charged, I'm making sure that I'm just putting those back in, right? I need to charge up the batteries that are not charged or have very low voltage right now. Top them back off, right?
Because once I charge most of the batteries, then yeah, I'll start using them again or whatever. Swapping them out with their batteries I have in some other things or whatever, right? Headlamps or whatever, right? I open up this headlamp. I got the Gold Zero type of batteries in here. I got a long time ago. Like I don't know, 2017, 2018, something along the lines of that, right? I think it was discounted, right? Because it was in the bargain bin, right? They're dated technically for 2014, right? But they're rechargeable batteries, so yeah, right? They're about maybe 1,000 milliamps hours, right? I'm trying to remember the pricing that I got in Canadian and CAD. Maybe it was definitely cheaper. It was definitely discounted, right? Maybe 40% off the regular price, so it was a good deal. And they're rechargeable, and they're batteries I would use, right? So I've been using them. I mean, like, I've used them in headlamps or flashlights along the lines of that, right? And they've been quite useful, especially, and, I can charge them with solar energy, too, right? I have a charger I can use, but I can use, right? And I got a USB one, too, right? But since I'm getting solar energy right now, and I'm getting solar energy for most of this week, I figured might as well use it, right? On the bright side, like, literally, of not getting rain for a while, well, at least I'm getting some solar energy. And the thing is, next week, it's supposed to be more cloudy, so that way I can top them off before next week. Before the sun disappears for that week, or it has less effect on the solar panels that I have out there. Oh, okay, Billy, I see. I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. Hey, like I said yesterday, I got a spider web on one of my sunflowers, right? That I don't mind so much. Because they're probably, like, consuming the aphids or whatever, right? I mean, I've seen spiders web up like ants before, so that I know can happen. Because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it with my own eyes in front of me, not just a picture or video or in the grapevine or third-party interaction of it. I've seen it firsthand of it. So, yeah. But yeah, these batteries, I gotta make sure I top them off. And besides that, what I'll probably do, because that way they're more ready, right? And because some of the solar lights I have, the batteries are actually topped back off already or whatever, right? So I don't need to go beyond 1.25 volts, right? It'll be full. So I might as well recharge some of these rechargeable batteries that I have and other things that I would use that I have been using, such as a headlamp, a flashlight, for example, right? And some of the stuff I've been using, and because I get to see or use a headlamp or whatever, nighttime gardening or whatever, right? So I figure I might as well top those off too this week. That'll probably be one of the things I do. If not today, then tomorrow or whatever, right? But yeah, let's just, It's classified as a leaf mantis. Oh, okay. I guess you got something to refer to now instead of saying a bunch of sentences to describe it. It's also called this. But yeah, I mean the sunshine I'm getting today, it's strong enough for solar ignition. I know that. So I mean, it's not ideal, perfectly clear, crystal clear skies out nothing but sunshine, because there's some haze in the sky, but there's enough to gather some solar energy out of. So those solar lights, specifically the batteries, can charge up and top back off and stuff like that. So I'm giving a 2-minute warning here for this live stream, because at that 2-hour mark, which is coming up within 2.5 minutes either, I will slide out. Yeah, slide out. But I do appreciate everyone that dropped by this morning for me once again. Alright? Some people I've seen once again, including this guy right here. I can't forget this guy. That guy. And of course some other people, Vanessa. And my Irv, and a bunch of other people that dropped by. I appreciate it. You guys, well, you guys get to interact with me, and I get to interact with you guys and share some stories. And I know some of you have shared your own EXP or story of your own, right? And some things I didn't even know about some of you, you know? Because videos only say so much, right? So unless you say it or unless I hear it, I'm like, what? I didn't know, right? And I don't assume, right? I don't assume you got a dog. I don't assume this or whatever, right? Unless you tell me, right? Because I don't like assuming. Because usually my assumptions are wrong. I totally get it wrong, right? Right? I thought you only had one dog. No, I have 3, CR. Oh, right. Something like that, right? Yeah, you'll get posted. Maybe, right? I guess you'll see, right? Right? You'll see the variety of melon, squash, pumpkin in time, right? Once it starts to bloom and flower, well, flower then fruit, I guess, right? As they say. And just like that, 2 minutes went by, and I have like half a minute here. So, like always, everyone, go out there and do something awesome. Things are changing out there, right? Slowly, but it is. And eventually, in time, you may need to adapt to this. Whatever that's gonna happen, whatever it is. It's not set in stone yet. There's still time to prepare, adapt, right? But it may help if you start today. If not yesterday, the day before, start today. Do something proactive, encouraging to a certain degree, right? Give something a little bit more forethought. Right? If there's a project or whatever, then you've been putting behind, yeah. Maybe just do it today. Be like, you know what? Yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna do it today. CR's right. Yeah, just get it done, right? You know? Even if you're gonna have some coffee or whatever to get into it, right? Or to get some music into your ears to jam into, or to get some help from like family members or your kids or whatever, right? Get it done, right? And go practice that skill. Obtain some more knowledge. Combine it together with some experience, and combine that all the skill, knowledge, and experience together with what I said earlier about gear, resources, and supplies. Bring it all together. Right? Because sometimes when you combine something together, wow, something special, awesome, megally awesome can happen. And when possible, try to help someone. All right, everyone. And on the way out, yeah, I see. Okay. Anyways, everyone, I will catch you all later, and I'm like 2 minutes over already. Anyways, I will catch you all later. Do something awesome. Stay tuned for the next live stream for me, and I will catch you all next time. Take care, and I'll see ya later. Take care, everyone.